the first item we have on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Chairman, will you support that? It's only you and me and Carl.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All those in favor of approving the agenda as written, say aye. Aye. Okay. Number 3 is public comment. Is there any public comment? No public comment. Okay, I forgot to make the, I'm just going to skip to it. Okay. So on number 4, we have to go back to March's motions. Apparently we had a little discrepancy in membership in some of the motions that were made in March. So basically what I need is a motion to affirm the March motions.
Move to concur with the recommendation of the chair.
All right. Any discussion on the motions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Only if there's a tie.
Yeah. No opposition. All right. So now we're going to go to the minutes of the March 12th meeting. I need approval of the minutes for March 12th.
Support.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. So now we're down to facilities, Meals on Wheels, vehicle purchase.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In front of you, you have a request to purchase 3 new Meals on Wheels vehicles. They're replacing 3 worn-out vehicles.
Rick, these meet all the requirements of our purchase policy?
Yes, sir, they do.
Are they, okay? Entertain a motion to receive the recommendation and to send it on to the full board, or is it done here?
It's done here.
That's understood.
Move to
That's
approve
understood.
the facilities department chair's recommendation.
Any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Opposed? It's carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, item D, sheriff patrol car purchase.
Good morning. I'm back here requesting the approval to purchase 6 vehicles in total. Last month when I was here, we were given some things that needed to be corrected. Number 1 was the creation of the purchase orders, which we have done. I've got my accesses granted through finance. We've created the POs for the respective vendors, both LaFontaine Dodge, who is the my deal holder for the Dodge products, and Signature Ford for the Ford products. Also, the vehicle list that facilities had was corrected. We had about 7 differences between our list and their list. We've created a workflow for when we make changes and how that will be transmitted to facilities for the accurate representation of the vehicles. And the VIN numbers for the vehicles that are going out of service or that we propose are going out of service have been listed on the agenda item so you can see what actual cars are going out of service. So at this point, the prices within the agenda item are correct, $31,271 each for the Ford Explorer or Interceptor, and then $24,192 for the Dodges, for a total purchase price of $168,389. The respective purchase orders for those dealers have been created for the respective amounts, 3 of each type of vehicle. I'm happy to entertain or answer any questions if the commission has that.
Carl?
Thank you, Madam Chair. My understanding is our facilities director was involved with this to some degree. Is that correct?
Yes. So on a couple different fronts. Number 1, obviously the finance department reviewed the purchase order for the vendors and the amounts, as did facilities. Director Shealy came to my office as we sorted out the vehicle spreadsheet as far as what he had and what we had and what was actually physically present. So we worked through that in my office and created a master sheet that each of us will run off of. And then finally, obviously the agenda items as they're created go through the approval tree, and one of them is facilities. We also have the bid sheets, the spec sheets for the respective vehicles, with what options that we're choosing on them. One thing that I neglected to say, but it is in the agenda item, these are all marked patrol vehicles.
Dave?
Just a comment for me, if I were voting on it, I would vote for it. I'm not though, but I do appreciate the fact that we're in compliance now with the purchase order policy. I do also appreciate the list of what vehicles are coming out of service by VIN, so we can track that. And I would lastly ask if there is a new master sheet of vehicles, if the commissioners could be provided that too. I think I heard you mention that you and Rick updated that.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? I'm looking for a motion to move the requested motion to the full board.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Here we have it's actually a two-part request. Number one is the renewal and the expenditure of the Code Red mass notification system, and then as was requested by the administrator last year, to make the appropriations both in expenses and revenue to the Homeland Security account. So it is a two-part request. This is a renewal of the Code Red mass notification system. There is no cost to the county. It is a full reimbursement. It has already been approved at the local, regional, and state level. There is a $30,000 reimbursement coming from the state. The city of Jackson also is using this product. They will pay the remainder, the $9,950, for their unlimited administrative portion of this. They will be billed back for that, and they will reimburse us. So I'm requesting the renewal and the expenditure, and also the appropriations for the Homeland Security account in the amount of $39,950.
Any comments, discussion?
Move to concur with the recommendation of the undersheriff.
Support.
Any further discussion?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Scott, street naming ordinance.
They have the latest current version, right? Okay. Dated, should be dated 4/4. That is the same that you saw before. We met with Mr. Overton. We made a few minor changes to Section E on page 2. We made a change on the J.C. Dot, Director of Operations. We changed that to the Managing Director. And also, that'll be the chair of the hearings board, will be the Managing Director of J.C. Dot, because that would be the most stable person on that committee, was the thought process there. And then we made a minor change to page 12 under section 5B. We took out the part of the under 3. We took out the statement that said comply with previous requirements listed for structures within 50 feet of the edge of the right-of-way, and in addition shall. We just struck that, so the statement now reads structures located more than 50 feet from the edge of the road right-of-way shall, and then it lists out A, B, and so forth.
Can't, see the house necessarily, potentially.
Right.
It works out well, you just be taking that out.
And then we did, in section 9, I just had something pointed out to me. Page 23, the very first paragraph under A. I'm going to suggest, and it's not marked up, but I'm going to suggest in the very first, at the end of the first line, act as the appeals hearing board too. I'm looking to strike that statement, so it would be the street naming address review committee shall hear petitions for relief from the administrative decisions made by the ordinance administrator. Little conflict calling that the appeals hearing board to review administrative decisions that I come up with or make. So we'll just strike that I'm suggesting we just strike that phrase, yeah. Yeah. And that's all the changes we have since our last discussion.
Dave's got a question.
Again, not voting on this, but my comments are that I'm still opposed to it without allowing the opt-out by municipalities. And then back to the appeals board, I forget which page that was on, but we had discussion about it at our last meeting about it not being stated clearly who appoints the appeals board. It talks about police chief on it, this, other person on it, but it doesn't say that I can see who actually appoints that board. And I'm not complaining about that, but it
Well, it says the appeals board is made up of the current board. Wasn't it? The current board?
No, it'll be a township supervisor, a township clerk.
It just
They'll
couldn't be,
separate.
who, oh yeah, I
They'll be
asked that same
separate
question
entities.
too.
I don't know. I think at that point, in my mind, the J.C. Dot managing director is chair of that committee. I would try to find members and go through him, and then he would call the meeting.
Well, my opinion, for what it's worth, is if that's, I'm not saying that's the wrong way to do it, maybe that's the right way, but it should be stated in here that,
What page was that again?
That would be on the page 2, isn't it?
2?
I think so. That's where we talk about the members.
Appeals board?
no, I think there's
Section
another
E.
page there, I think.
Section E would say, it talks about who the members are. No member of the street shall be a representative on the appeals hearing board.
And what page are you on with that?
Page 2, Section E,
Oh, yeah.
that's where I would suggest it go.
We need to correct that.
Yeah,
So basically, Scott, what you're saying is that the chair of that committee, being the only consistent member, would seek a township supervisor not from the jurisdiction in question.
And different supervisors and clerks based on who's available, I would assume. In my mind, I was visioning, I would try to find members and then work with the chair of that committee before it's called, the meeting's called.
yeah, I mean, you're probably, how many appeals are you gonna have? Two or?
Very
two or-
few.
Okay, so.
Hopefully none,
Few,
yeah.
few appeals, and realistically, knowing that you don't want an appointee to that committee to be from that jurisdiction, it's gonna have to change, but I think you have to find a way to wordsmith,
Like maybe have an alternate in there, have the alternate.
even if you give the J.C. managing director or whoever the authority to pick that on an as-needed basis. I don't care how you do it. It just needs to be said how you're gonna do it, how you're gonna pick who's on
Well,
it.
it says it'll be as needed.
Yeah, all you need to do is on that last sentence there, because it does say that he's, shall be
Yeah.
chaired by the J.C. Managing Director, and he or she may appoint as necessary,
Okay.
Or shall, right?
or, yeah, shall appoint as necessary.
Shall based on the requirements set forth. Okay.
I think, because, again, hopefully we can avoid a lot of the appeals, but, invariably, when you got a whole, to really go, great no matter what, and want to appeal, and that, so be it. And then in the end, if it goes through, the administrator, the committee, and then the appeals board, we're back to court if they really want to insist, if it goes through all those bodies. But it's got to stop. That's where the buck stops at the end of the day.
Okay, I'll add that in.
Thank you.
So should we wait and vote on this or just move it with the required changes to our Tuesday meeting?
Move it with the changes.
Move with the changes, and then we'll discuss it Tuesday night. I won't put it on consent, I'll put it on regular, so we can bring it, so it can be talked about. Does that sound good to everybody?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm looking for a motion to send this to the full board with the requested changes.
So moves.
Just the IT director.
You'll support
I'll
it?
support.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
First time I've seen.
Just as a side note, I did have communication with the supervisor Napoleon this morning. I'm meeting with her Wednesday. And Mr. Duckup's not in town
He'll be down, doing my
It'll
note.
be, no,
Will be today. Oh,
today. So I sent him a meeting request too, but I'll follow with an email to him that he wanted to meet with her if he was going to be available. So we are meeting with her Wednesday morning to discuss that change in here. so.
Thanks, Scott. All right, item G is finance.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioners, we're presenting the financial statements for the 2 months ended for February 28th. So our budget benchmark is 16.7%. Good news is that our year-to-date expenditures are at 15.6, so we're below the budget benchmark. We're also below the 3-year average expenditure level. On the revenue side, however, the 3-year average is 9.5%, but we're at 7%. So, and also the only other thing I'd like to point out, which was a new section to the financial statements last month. The last page, page 6, includes a summary of the activity of the pension bond proceeds. Again, we started with 67 million, and we now have 65 million due to market activity for February. The only other comment there is there has been some recoveries. However, as you probably realize, the market activity is pretty volatile at the moment. So, or as your broker would say, we're in it for the long term anyway. Happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
All right, we're down to 5A, claims. I need a motion to pay the claims.
So move the claims.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We paid the bills. You have the other minutes under 5B, which there aren't any. The May reporting schedule, let's see. Looks like we'll just have finance. Public comment, is there any public comment?
Good morning, all. My name's Jeff Cruz. I live at 44 Coronado Drive, and I can proudly say that's going to be my address now, I believe. It's my understanding. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of you for working so diligently to get this address ordinance straightened around. We really appreciate it, and it's going to save us a lot of costs in our subdivision. Sarah, I know you've worked hard on it too, and I appreciate all your input and your hard work. And you too, Mike. Thank you very much.
Any other public comment? Doesn't look like it.
No.
Public, yeah, go ahead and do it under committee. You can do it now.
You want me to do it now? Michelle, if you'd step up, and did you want to give her a brief bio introduction? Oh, she can do it herself. I guess yes,
No pressure,
you can.
no pressure. Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Michelle McClish. I am your new Director of Information Technologies. Very happy to be here. I'm coming from you with 11 years of experience working for another county in Ohio, so I am very familiar with what goes on and what we do here. Very happy to be here. Just graduated with my Master's of Business Administration, met my team, and I'm very excited to be here with you guys.
Today's your first day.
Today is my first day.
Ooh, fun day.
Yes. I do. Well, in between Hillsdale and Hudson, I'm in Wheatland Township in Osseo, Pittsford area. So my commute has been tremendously cut down. Very excited about that, and very excited to be here. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Committee member comments. Carl, got anything?
No, Victoria.
Chair? Okay. All right. I'll adjourn to the call of the chair.